Hanukkah, the purpose of the celebration. Now, this is an 8-day feast, and it's respected, or it's employed as a guide, because Satan put a counterfeit as Christmas to try and take the value of Hanukkah away. And so we're going to go through the 10 points of why this celebration, the Hanukkah celebration, is important. The first one is that we're celebrating victory over the world's corruption. Yeshua said, I've overcome the world. Well, don't you think you should be celebrating the overcoming of the world so they have the power to resist the world? Number 2 is celebrating the releasing of the kingdom. And the kingdom starts off in you. And what you claim, or what you release to Satan's control, you're held accountable for. You're expected to carry it through. But when you're celebrating it, it's celebrated with so much joy and dancing and great foods and things like that. On these days, it's an enlightening celebration when it's for it. The third is celebrating freedom from faithless time, from fear-driven times, and from avoiding covenant promises. It's a releasing of any commitments to the kingdom of darkness and its reign in your life. When it was started, the Greeks had control of the temple and they polluted it. And right now, pagans have control of our nations. The sons of Jacob have all been taken over by evil forces, pagans. The tail is wagging the dog. So what we're celebrating in this is, if you have had times where you've let your life run by fear, when you're celebrating it, you're Hanukkah, you're saying, no more fear. I will not be run by fear. It will not be the God of my life. And that's why it's called that faithless time. And there's been much in our backgrounds in which, we're taught things that were wrong, we did things that were wrong, and we became part of a faithless time. But we're learning how to walk in faith, how to pray in faith. And so this is why it's so critically important that anything we've done in allowing the kingdom of darkness to reign in our life or around us, we're celebrating the freedom from that bad choice. Number 4 is celebrating an end to slothful times in our life. Where we just didn't feel like doing things, or we didn't feel like participating into the covenants that God has established, or the promises, or the word, and where He's said don't do something or go and do something and you didn't do it. It's a slothful time. Number 5 is celebrating an end to slavery of our soul and body to the kingdom of darkness. We're supposed to be in charge. Our spirit man is supposed to be in charge. Your spirit, soul, and body. The body's last because it's the least. Number 6 is celebrating a fellowship of unity of righteousness. See, when you're walking in righteousness and obeying God, there's a celebration. God commands a celebration. And if you look at the year, when you're celebrating so much of the things, there's no time to get mopey over what's attacking you or what's here or what's there. It's a matter of celebrating, and the stuff can't hold. We have number 7 is celebrating the miracle gift of light that conquers all the darkness. You see, when we're celebrating, we're releasing light. It's allowed to flow in us, and darkness can't stay around us. It has to flee. If you're in a dark room and you turn the switch on and the light comes on, where's darkness?
Gone.
It's gone. Yeah. So we have to be, what God says is to celebrate that we are the light. That when we walk into a room, darkness has to flee. Number 8 is celebrating the gift of freedom in thankfulness. When you make a list of all the things that you've overcome or things that you're working on, as you get so that you're not tempted by these things or Satan can't move you into that sin, you're supposed to be celebrating that freedom. And this is an 8-day celebration for that purpose also. 9 is celebrating our Father's gifts of honor, respect, and power into a troubled world. We're the bringer of light. We're the bringer of truth. We're the bringer of life. And we are honored to have that position, to be able to do so. So we should be doing it, celebrating and joyfully. And this time tells us that that's what we're required to do. Not worship the troubles that Satan throws your way. And he will definitely always try and persecute or cause a trouble, some form of trouble. But that doesn't mean you have to worship him for it. Worship God who's getting you out of it. And number 10 is celebrating that you have a place where you belong. In total security that allows you to sing, to dance, to praise, and to rest. This feast is not a commanded holy day according to the Bible, but it is a day or a time that has been set aside as a special assembly. And it's to let you know where your heart is. If your heart is not with Yeshua, you won't make any attempt to attend any of the feasts, any of the days of the celebration. So we pray that you get hold of what's here and make it part of a new way of life, celebrating